All right, Working Class Beer Reviews is looking at Famosa Lager Beer. This is a Guatemalan beer that I saw at a Eagle Stop gas station here just outside of Sedalia. 24-ounce can. I want to say this stuff is like three something, $3.50 maybe. Import beers are a little more expensive. This is a 24-ounce can. I got this tall lager glass. It's dripping a little bit. Oop. Nice and charged though. Oh, barely, just barely. So, yes, it says Tradition Orgullo de Guatemala. Orgullo. I'm not good at speaking Spanish. I know very little. So, Guatemala is in Central America, next to like Belize and stuff like that. Established in 1896. Imported from Guatemala. Imported by Central Beer Import and Export Inc., Miami, Florida. CentralBeer.com. Contains sulfites, 5% ABV, so it's like Budweiser. A lot of the Mexican lagers and Central American lagers are in the 4.5 range. So full 5%, that's can be kind of rare at times. I've never seen this before, so when I saw it, I'm like, I have to have this because it's hard to come by new lagers and just cheap beers. Definitely, this is probably gonna be like Tecate and Presidente and stuff like that. I took a peek online to see they had a distributor website that talked about it a little more, and they did say in other parts of the world it's called Gallo, or Gallo, or however you want to say it in Spanish, Gallo. So, but in the United States it's called Famosa, which I'm guessing is like famous. Pour just a little more. Had it in the fridge, nice and cold. Rained just a little bit ago. I was taking a nap and I knew it was going to rain, but it started earlier than I anticipated, and the top was off my Jeep. So it got rained in a little bit, just lightly. So I pulled it around back and I dragged my soft top pieces out, and piece by piece, it can be kind of a pain in the butt to do by yourself. It's doable, but because I've got the Unlimited, which is the longer version of the Wrangler. Is before they were 4-door, so it's a 2006. Very last year of that TJ body style, so I'm calling it an LJ, with it being the long one. So the soft top is a little cumbersome. Back windows are always a pain in the butt on those things to put in. You got to lubricate those zippers. So what do you get? It's super sweaty glass. It's humid out here, and I mean it was like raining a little bit, and I was sweating in the rain. It was the craziest thing. Super clear though, very very light for a 5% beer. This is like looks like Michelob Ultra. The head didn't really stay, so let's give it a smell. It smells like beer. I mean, if I had to guess, it's probably got corn. A lot of the Latin lagers are German-based, but they usually use adjuncts. You don't see a whole lot of ales because these are more crisp and refreshing. So, in the hot, humid climate, this is probably going to be a little more thirst-quenching than a heavier mouth-bodied ale. Can't really smell. I just smell grains. It doesn't smell like an all malt lager. It does smell like an adjunct. So I'm guessing it's got corn or rice, but more than likely corn. It smells good though. I will say that. It smells clean. So let's give it a taste. Yeah, pretty standard. It's good. It's nice because after reviewing that axe head a couple of weeks ago, good lord, that was rough. Ugh. It's nice to have something that tastes great. You can see the sun's trying to make its way back out. There's clouds. It's going to be like scattered showers today, but it's going to be in the upper 80s. I feel bad because right now Central Texas is going through a rough time with floods. I forgot what the name of the river was. I saw it in the news. Guadalupe, or I don't know if that's it, but I just shot that off the top of my head. I apologize to any viewers in Texas that I got that wrong with. But I feel bad for them, and I hope that everybody's okay. Sounds like a lot of chaos, some deaths, and it's very unfortunate when it comes to these natural disasters. So hopefully the locals can help each other out, and the government can get down there, and I'm sure they've declared a state of emergency and getting help down there, getting people out. But yeah, we were having a decent amount of rain in the past weeks. We had a spell of dry, warm weather this last week. That's why I took my top and my doors off my Jeep and just left it like that. I drive to work every morning. It'd be like 70-some degrees in the early morning. It'd be 90 by the time I get back off work, but I didn't care. The heat does not really bother me too terribly much. I mean, that may change as I get older, as long as I have a nice cold beer. You know, it's funny how excited, when you do beer reviews, how excited you get when you find something that you've never had before, because it's becoming increasingly rare. It seems like it's always the same old thing. You know, you got your... And there's a lot of the Mexican lagers I still need to do yet. I haven't done Tecate. I don't know if I've done Dos Equis, because they got the Especial and the Ambar. I don't know that I've done Pacifico, and I start seeing Pacifico in singles. That's actually one of my favorite Mexican lagers. It comes in a brown bottle, because I've had one too many skunky Coronas over the years, so I hate to chance it when it comes to Corona. This, I saw online, the bottles that comes in are brown, like a lighter brown colored bottle, and so, but the label looks very just like that, and they have 12-ounce cans. I'm sure they have, bigger bottles, like the 32-ounce bottles, or maybe, I've even seen, I don't know if it's this brand, it could have been this brand, I can't remember. Years ago, the glass recycling bins, we used to, have a place where you dump glass, but they're like open, and you just got to see stuff in there. And I had a cousin at the time that would homebrew beer, so anytime I saw good quality pry-off bottles, I would, gather them up and rinse them and clean them out for him and give them to him. Well, I saw a 1-liter glass bottle of a Mexican beer, and for some reason this is kind of jogging my memory about what that label was. It may have been Famosa. So if anybody is familiar with this brand, if they've seen other configurations, let me know in the comments what you have found. I don't know if this is something we'll start seeing more often. I know there's people reviewing Pabst Light. I've yet to see that in my area in central Missouri, even though it says it's a product of St. Louis, Missouri. So I'm guessing it's contract brewed by somebody. That is really good. I'm pleased with that. It's got some streaming bubbles coming to the top. Not much of the presentation is probably more people are just drinking it straight out of the can or the bottle. They're probably not pouring it into a glass like this. Now, if you get down in Guatemala, they may have, or anywhere in Central America, they may have restaurants that have it on tap. Having kegs. They might have people buy it at parties and have kegs and stuff like that. So there may be, ways of getting this on draft. Probably not around here. Like there is a label, looks like barley and hops. So little stamp there. There's always a possibility that this is all malt and it's higher quality than I realize. To me, though, it tastes so similar to the other Mexican-style lagers that I'm willing to bet that it's got corn. Yeah, it doesn't have that kind of, that all malt taste. It's got that, doesn't have that barley burn, some people call it. The IBUs are probably super low, in the low teens at the most, maybe even in single digits, some of them. So... trying to think, it's different than Corona. It's a little cleaner than Corona, to be quite honest with you. I'm actually pretty happy with that. Yeah, but I'm honestly, as soon as when I post this, I want to hear everybody else's input. It's definitely carbonated. Make me want to burp again. Here we go. Yeah, if you've ever had this or seen it, if you had any experience at all with it, please let me know in the comments. I'm curious to see what people think of this and how widespread it is, or if it's something new that's just made its way into the United States somewhat recently. I don't know. I mean, some place, bigger cities in Total Wine, you might be able to see this. You know, dark clouds coming in. Might rain again. But anyway, thanks for watching this, guys, and I will look forward to hearing your input. And I appreciate you taking the time out to watch this video, and I will see you guys later.